Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to educate you about the Marchman Act. Now, I know, before you even say it, I've put out a ton of content about the Marchman Act. I've put out a ton of content about the guardianship and the Baker Act. But this is a new twist. Did you know that the government can Marchman Act you? Yep, that's right. The government can Marchman Act you. And no, I'm not confused between the Marchman Act and the Baker Act, because I've already talked about the Baker Act until almost, haven't had a family member Baker Acted. I've talked about it a lot, I know. And I'm pretty clear about the fact that when somebody gets Baker Acted, it's the government, the state of Florida, taking somebody into custody and through Florida's mental health system. They become a ward of the state, and the state becomes the new guardian. And what effectively has happened is that individual, the patient, their ability, their legal right to make medical and mental health decisions for themselves have been terminated. It's all in the hands of the state. And if it's a Baker Act, it's going to be the doctors in the facility. And it also means that even family members who have been designated as healthcare proxy, that healthcare proxy basically it's not what the paper it's written on, it's just ink on a piece of paper. Of course, there are ways to enforce that, the healthcare proxy, but it's basically voided, right? That's what happens when somebody gets Baker Acted. The state becomes, the husband, the wife, the sister, the brother. You get the idea, right? The state takes complete control of that person. Well, the same can happen with the Marchman Act. The Marchman Act statute can be initiated the exact same way that a Baker Act can be initiated. For instance, it could be law enforcement, right? Law enforcement can Marchman Act somebody. A qualified professional can Marchman Act somebody, same as in a Baker Act. Or number three, it can be initiated by the filing of a petition. Now, that being said, does the state Marchman Act people a lot? Not very often, but there is one county that I've seen it multiple times, and that's up in Gainesville. They love to Marchman Act people. I've seen it several times, and if you go to the hospital up in Gainesville, where the University of Florida is, there's a chance you'll get Marchman Acted. There's also a chance you'll get Baker Acted, but they're the only the only county that I've seen use the Marchman Act statute, which gives the state the authority to basically detain you under that statute. I've not seen it done anywhere else. I've heard rumors of other counties. I've just not encountered them. So I'm letting you know, okay? I'm not saying don't go to the hospital. I'm letting you know that the state can step in actually effectively three ways, right? The criminal system, the Baker Act, the mental health system, and also through the Marchman Act. Again, through the mental health system, right? It's more of it's a behavioral health statute, but the Marchman Act focuses on substance use, and the Baker Act focuses on mental illness. Now, sometimes the lines get blurred, right? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Was the person suffering from a mental illness and they used, or did they use and it caused a mental health issue? All things to be hashed out in front of a court, but you get the idea. And so what I'm trying to tell you is, as I've said, I think ad infinitum at this point when it comes to the Baker Act, if you have a loved one who's got a behavioral health issue and you don't take care of it, and what I mean by that is you don't make the commitment to save them because they're using or they have a mental health issue, at some point the state's going to step in and they're going to do it for you. And I promise you, you will not like the results of that. The state does a lousy job of taking care of people. They simply do. And so I share that with you because, it's like I call it a fool's paradise, thinking that nothing will happen. You get taken to the wrong hospital in the wrong county. You're either getting Baker Acted or you're getting Marchman Acted. And I wanted to share that with you. So just know that. If you want to talk about how we can help you, give us a call. We're here to help you. If you have any comments or questions, or you disagree with me, or you agree with me, post the comments. I read all of them. I typically respond within 24 hours. If you liked the video, I'd love a thumbs up. If you want more of this content, please subscribe to the channel. I'm putting out a video or two every single day. I want you to get the information that you need so you can decide if we need to start talking about a legal intervention, right? Let's start talking about how you as a family can get the ability, the legal right to start making decisions on behalf of your loved one before something either tragic happens, and it happens, and I'm sorry to tell you that, but I'm a straight shooter when it comes to this stuff, right? Either something tragic happens, because without treatment, this is just going to get worse, but you know that, because you've been dealing with this for a long time. Or the state will step in through either the criminal system, the Baker Act system, or the mental health system. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen, because the family should be making this decision and not the state of Florida. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I appreciate you tuning in. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.